Hello, everyone, and welcome to What's Happening in Your Neighborhood, where you get the scoop on all the cool, quirky, compelling happenings in our communities. I'm your host, Lisa Dastuto, joined by our two local experts, each tuned into the heartbeat of our neighborhoods. Every week, we'll dive into stories that are bound to pique your interest and maybe even get you involved.
I actually was out of town this past weekend and spent some time talking about a lot of the what's ups and what's happenings. But one of the things that came across my phone as the news versus me just being in the know was that a Pennsylvania builder is going to be building 132 townhomes in our little small town. So I have mixed feelings about it, but as the real estate goes, I guess that's good. It's going to be $500,000 price point. They're going to be larger townhomes. They say they're gearing towards the professional. So they're 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. There's a section of town as you're heading out of town. There's a series of shopping centers. We have two. And on the one side is all farmland. And there's a strip of acreage there, 132 acres, that they're going to be building on. I'm sorry, it was 132 townhomes. I think it's only 32 acres. My bad. Sorry about that. But they're going to be building them in there. So traffic studies have been done. That is my main concern because there's one way in and out of our town. And it's a line of traffic already. They've added some stoplights. They're adding another one at the end of my road that I have to come out of because they put a 55 and over at the end of my crossroad of my development. So I'm seeing a lot more traffic come into town. So, they're touting is, it's great for downtown businesses, and agree. Taxes. Yeah. Okay. It's more tax revenue coming in. Agree. But I just wonder, I mean, if you live in a small town, like you kind of came to the small town because it was a small town, had a little nice village feel. And now I feel like they're trying to make us into some of our other local towns north of us, like Haddonfield, everybody wants to come and be here, walkable, and then just jam all these houses. Although Haddonfield, I don't think you can build in anymore. It has all its houses already. But
True. Yeah.
But they're really expanding us a lot here. So when I moved here in 2002, there was approximately a population of 8,000. I think we're over 14,000 now. So we've definitely grown, and we look to still be growing. So, hey, it's a great town, and I wouldn't discourage anyone from trying to get in it for sure. But that's your price point, $500,000 for some new townhomes in Mullica Hill, coming in about 3 years.
Well, always. Sorry, Lisa. Go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I say everything you've always shared with us about Mullica Hill. It just sounds like the quintessential, lovely small town feel and look, and so I totally understand you're not wanting it to grow. But on the other hand, you're like, if it doesn't grow, right?
Yeah.
Where do the tax dollars come?
Yeah.
How do we? But fill the potholes? How do we do all the things? And so that's a constant. It's the same out where I am too, in this little town that I live in, California.
It's double-edged sword.
It's so funny because you say that, but there was a time where Dean and I were looking for a townhouse. We were trying to think, okay, if we sell our house, we downsize, but he still needs to go to work. He's not ready to retire. So I was like, well, ideally it would be great to move into a townhouse, all fixed up. We don't have to worry about it. But the problem was these townhouses that they were building around here were small. They were meant for first-time home buyers. They had a lot of steps. They were very narrow, and I did not like them. They were going to work for us. And there was talk in Richmond, Richmond. And they were going to do this whole thing about, if you remember Main Street in Voorhees, Christine?
Yeah.
They were going to do that concept there where there were stores underneath. You could walk. It's like a little private town. But it never happened. And then when I got the news of this development Christine's talking about, I was like, well, this has got to be wider footprint, not so narrow.
Yeah.
And, I would probably, if I was going to do it, I don't know if we're going to do it anymore. I think that idea is off the table. But then I would go to the builder and say, hey, can you put an elevator in? If you're going to make it bigger and it's going to be $500,000, I want an elevator, so
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
see you guys settling in one of the new Disney
Oh, no, no, no.
neighborhoods.
Ah,
That's
No,
what I see
no,
for you guys.
yeah, they are supposed to be bigger. They said they're going to be large, 3-bedroom, 2.5 baths. So I'm guessing probably close to at least over 2,000 square feet. I'm thinking they're going to be
yeah,
a
it
larger.
needs to be. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
So,
yeah,
good.
but I think Richmond is still going to be developed. It's just taking forever. I don't know what the holdup is, but I did read in the township newsletter something that was coming. They still have a sign up.
yeah.
But yeah, they're supposed to make it look, I heard like downtown Disney, you know, walkable with
Oh,
stores
very
and
cute.
living above the
I
store.
I
love
heard
the
the same thing
retail
too.
below and living above. That should be everywhere. We're getting more and more of that in California.
Mm.
It's so smart because you have all this airspace up above. Why not utilize it, right?
So funny.
Retail below, living up above. I
Yeah.
love that.
As a kid,
Yeah.
I lived above a liquor store in North Jersey.
Did
So
you?
yeah. My uncle owned the whole row of stores in there.
Oh,
He had a liquor
nice.
store on this end, and then he had a furniture store here, and there was another little card store or something in between. But yeah, I lived up top, and there was 2 apartments up there, and we lived in one.
Mm.
Yeah.
Aw.
So I mean, that's
That's
common
good.
in the city, you know.
Yeah,
Mhm.
So
great.
yeah, going back to that.
So, Deb, what's
Yeah.
happening in your neighborhood?
So I live and work Agora Hills, California, which is off of the 101. We are about 45 minutes north of Santa Barbara, 20 minutes inland from Malibu, and about 15 minutes north of Calabasas.
Mm-hmm.
So we're south of Santa Barbara, north of Calabasas, and just in from Malibu. So for the people who don't know, that's where Agora Hills is. And we have something amazing happening in Agora Hills. It's been in the works for many, many years. From pumas to butterflies. Okay, so you're going to get the visual, right? The world's largest wildlife crossing is going to help animals walk safely over 8 lanes of California traffic. So
Wow.
the 101,
Wow.
4 north, 4 south. We have Santa Monica Mountain Range, and then we have the Simi Hill, Santa Susana Range. And so many years ago, when they came through and they split up that range, all this wildlife, all these years, they can't do the crossing, they can't do the mating and the dating so the pool is just getting,
Mating and dating.
because they gotta like roam and they get killed on the freeway, and it's sad, and it's right. So, and I love that this is happening in my hometown of Agora Hills. It's awesome. I think it is so cool. Okay, so it'll be over the 101 freeway in Los Angeles County, and I'm going to read just a couple of things from the newspaper. When the project is finished in 25, the man-made crossing should provide safe passage for mountain lions and bobcats and deers and lizards and coyotes and snakes and ants as they move between the Santa Monica Mountains and the Simi Hill, Santa Susana Range. Okay, so it's called the Wallace-Annenberg Wildlife Crossing. The project will cost $92 million. And another thing that I love about this project is there is some public funding involved through like Caltrans, National Park Service, National Wildlife, but the majority of the money was all privately brought in. And so, oftentimes we hear people like, that's really great that they're doing that, but why as taxpayers are we having to pay for that thing, right? You name it, any city. But this primarily is being funded by private organizations and peoples and foundations.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. You have a passion for something, you can put your money in and do the thing. And it's just so cool because every time, we drive on the freeway out here, more and more is getting done. And pretty soon it's going to come over the top of the freeway and it'll all be green and amazing. And they're doing it down on both sides. It's so cool. 210-foot long crossing will form a bridge over 8 lanes of traffic. It will eventually be covered in vegetation, millions of native plants, blah, blah, blah.
So how are they going to retrain the animals to go over this bridge?
Well, they've done a multitude of testing and watching, and this area, a lot of mountain lions get killed in this area. So they've determined through studies and whatnot, and they have trackers on them, that this is a path that is just so natural. And that freeway, our 101 freeway right there, is the mountains are, just right there on both sides. So They're just going to re-put the land, and they're going to have like a viewing center. It's going to be so awesome. So
She's excited.
I love it. So the crossing will be the largest in the world, the first of its kind in California, and will serve as a global model for urban wildlife conservation. It's so cool, and they're so close to being done. They closed the freeway down at night from like 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. to do the big stuff over the freeway with a little, detour. So they say it'll all be done by, yes, indeed.
Yeah, that's a great story. I mean, it's funny because my daughter and I got into Yellowstone, and we like binge watched the entire 5 seasons, and now we're on a cliffhanger because it had stopped, but I think it's coming back. But anyway, that being said, it was a lot of, because this particular ranch was right in the middle of Yellowstone, and Yellowstone Park became, preserved, and there's the coyotes, and they tag them, and, it was just kind of interesting. And you don't really think about that, where I didn't even realize California had mountain lions and pumas and all that right in that area. I would have thought a little more north, but wow, that's great.
It's
so you'll be able to see them. You'll actually see sightings. That's awesome.
I mean,
that's like a free zoo.
It's so cool. They can just do their thing.
Natural. Yeah, I love
to show you. I'm going to share my screen. So what was interesting was I have been in Ocean City for, 30 years, and never knew we had a restaurant on the beach until last year when I was on TikTok, and I'm scrolling away and I'm like, where's this at? And I literally, as soon as I saw that, I got in my car, I drove all the way down there, and I had lunch, and it was awesome. It was
How did you not know?
I don't know. It's like the best kept secret because it's in the gardens. So it's called a Sand House Kitchen, and I'm going to show their page on Instagram. So I'm going to share this for you. Give me a second, and I will get it up. There we go. Okay. Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So this is their Instagram page. So if anyone is interested, please make sure to follow them.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
I wanted to share, so I'm going to scroll down for a minute just to show you what it looks like. So let's see here. So you can get an idea. So the food is amazing. So it's really cute.
Tacos.
Oh my gosh, they're my favorite.
All right, we're going.
Here's another one.
I'm down.
So it's adorable. So I'm not sure if they just wanted to expand the restaurant. They haven't given a reason why, but this fall, and that's just what I wanted to share with you guys, they are lifting the restaurant up.
Oh, yes, they are. Maybe it's for fear it might get washed away.
So, Lisa, do you think this was originally a house and somebody turned it into a restaurant? Was this residential maybe at one point? Years ago?
Oh, I wish I could answer that. I really don't know 100% sure, but
it's an odd
that's
location.
The only thing I could think of.
I mean, with the dunes and everything, I just can't imagine they allowed someone to put something there with the dunes. Because, the dunes are like gold. You can't go near them.
I totally agree with that. I think you're right. I'm going to actually get you an answer to that question because that's a good one. I think this was a house. They probably turned it into a restaurant. Now, obviously, well, yeah, the zoning department would have to approve it, but literally this is at the end of the gardens. And if you don't go down there, you're never going to know this is there. It's like I live on the south end of the island. So everything that I do is pretty much centered around there. Yes. Do we go to the center of town where the boardwalk is? Yes. But I don't really have a reason to go to the gardens unless I'm going to go visit someone. So that's why I never really knew about it. But like you said, this could have been a house for many years. And, I've been on the island for 30 and not hearing about it. This could have been something new.
Yeah.
But this is here showing you the pilings, and then the latest update is the floor was installed, so you can see how it's coming together. They lifted
that. Yes.
they're creating a view of the beach.
Yes,
Yes.
So
they
you're going to
are.
be able to eat there and be able to see the ocean, which right now I'm going to bet you'll never be able to get in there for a reservation because it's going to be so busy.
And yeah, they probably want to. Yeah, yeah. That's great. Wow. So when
I
do they do
know.
this?
So they said
Are they doing this right now, or they did it in the fall?
they started this in the winter. So this is where they're at. This was dated, let me see, 6 days ago.
Oh, okay.
So this is where they're at now. Now they're saying who's ready for the summer of 2024. I would probably say maybe they'll open up in July. I don't know. I mean, they have the pilings in. So really from here on out, the pilings have to, so there's a rule in Ocean City, whenever you're doing construction or building a new home, you have to have the pilings in before Memorial Day because that is our, we're resort for vacation. So from Memorial Day and Labor Day, that's your prime season. So
Yeah.
you cannot be banging the ground and drilling and getting those pilings in. You have to do it beforehand. So
I
that's all
should
done.
know that because Jaws is one of my favorite movies, so I should know.
and it is a favorite in this house too. Oh my gosh, so funny. All right, let me take this off the screen. So yes, I am just in awe of this project and I keep watching it all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all
What a
good.
fun find.
Thank you for listening to Coffee, Lipstick, and Real Estate. Stay tuned. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe because our next episode is going to be on insurances and you're not going to want to miss it. We're going to cover all different types. And I think it's something that you need to know. So leave us a comment. Let us know what you think about this episode today. And if you know of anything in our area you want more information about, just please reach out to any of us and we will get that information out to you. See you on the next episode.